I'm going to answer this question. Let's see. Why does evil happen to good people? Why does good happen to evil people? The first thing that comes up to me is just this question of like, what is evil? Like, how do we even, in a moment, define something as good or bad in a world where things change over time? Like, our perception
Phails at philosophy.
over time, what occurred can change. Like, its meaning or it's anyway. So there's that. And then when I put that aside, why does evil happen to good people? Um, yeah, there might. I'm kind of get to a chaos thing, like just because stuff happens. The S word, poop happens.
Yeah, I
Like
think
it's just
if I
like
had to answer the question, I would be with you. Yeah,
poop
absolutely.
happens, and
Like,
that's just the way it is. And
this seems to be the world we live in, is a world where bad things happen to good people.
yeah, and what might today be perceived as them getting away with it 5, 10 years down the road, they might not be getting away with it anymore.
Right.
Like we've got these stories of, whether it's Bill Cosby or, I don't want to call out a bunch of people, but especially now, it seems like we're looking with more of a microscope at the behaviors of the people in power. And for some reason, from my perspective, we're focusing on entertainment, like the people in entertainment.
Yeah.
And we're saying like, okay, how have you used the power that you've gained through your media kind of presence?
Yeah, that's weird. Like, why are
Why are we
we
focusing on
why are we
actors and
demanding that from our
comedians,
actors and comedians and not
not our
our politicians?
politicians?
Yeah,
Yeah, jinx.
yeah,
So yeah, this will change over time, and like maybe the arc of justice is long, but sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I mean, you got this like Jeffrey Epstein where it seems like he was given a lot and he did a lot of evil with it, and then we figure out about it and something happens, but I don't think all the people that he was involved with are going to get justice.
yeah.
All these names that are hidden within these, you know, um, documents that are released. Like, we're not going to go and look into with a fine tooth comb all the things that they did
Mm-hmm.
around this behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And there probably should be some accountability there. Well, no, not should be. There should be accountability there. Folks are messing with children,
Mm-hmm.
and just looking back over time at the way that maybe culturally it was normal for folks to fetishize or have desires around younger women. Like
Yeah.
from our music, like rock and roll music was all about, she was only 17.
Yeah.
If you know what, that's the Beatles, man.
Right.
That's like the musical rocket, the rockets of our culture. And they were talking about small children.
Yeah.
So that changes over time.
Right. And that doesn't mean that it was not bad then. It's that the culture was bad.
The culture was bad.
Right. And so.
And they lived within a culture that was bad, and they just mirrored that culture.
Right. And so.
So evil happens because not only does poop happen, but like sometimes the culture's poop.
Right. And so, yeah, I think that's, and yes, I think accountability is important because accountability is necessary for social functioning. And again, like that kind of trust system over here, and those three things I kind of diagnosed out really quickly.
Yeah.
Right. But when we blur that up into this sort of like cosmic accounting, that's where we go wrong. And when we focus on that to the expense of producing good, I mean, maybe the good that we are capable of producing in a moment like that is to say, what is it about us as an entertainment culture, right? Like, let's just focus on the Beatles line.
Yeah.
That celebrated the exploitation of young women as an erotic good.
Right.
Right. And continues to do that.
Yeah.
And how can we overcome that? How can we put that to rest? Because it produces real harm.
Real harm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Having, and I don't think me having two daughters is the reason folks should step up, but it's a way that gives me really
Exactly.
real life experiences of where these people are cognitively, emotionally, what type of life experience they have, and where they should really be interacting with adults.
Right.
When they should actually, have whatever transition ritual needs to occur from a child to an adult in society to participate in all the different things.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think that number's 15. I don't think that number's 16. I don't think that number's 17. I don't know what the number is.
Right. No, it is. And part of the problem is the bureaucratization of the moral order that Weber talks about means that in a large complex society, you have to choose a number, right?
But the number is, every child is different.
Right.
And you really have to be like, look at more than their beauty as something to be acquired, and look at what's going on behind the curtains. What are they available for? Because maybe an 18-year-old is mature.
Right.
And maybe a 28-year-old isn't.
Right. And in all your relationships, you need to attend to that. Right.
I tell you, this guy seems like he just found maturity last year.
I know. Isn't that the truth? I'm 50 and I feel like I'm just beginning to get it.
Yeah, no one should have dated me.
And I'm sure when I'm 60, I'll be looking back at my 50-year-old self and being like, wow, yeah, you were so young then.
You should not have been participating in the...
And then I think once you get it, you begin to get it, then it all falls apart and you end up in dementia, and
that's
the great injustice, right?
That's the true evil,
right? Is that, well, I mean, it's sickness, old age, death. Those are the three sites in Buddhism.
The Buddha saw. He went out on that carriage,
right?
The wealthy Buddha.
And I think that the fact is, we spend our whole lives working to be good. It's not to get any more reward than the good itself we produce.
I want to be successful.
Yeah.
But I think then it's a question of, how are you defining success?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be successful if success is a signal of your ability to produce good for yourself and others.
Yeah.
Right? And I think yourself is an important part of that, because you can't produce good for others if you're not in a good place yourself.
Right.
Right?